Dear students, good evening. Welcome to Law Excellence IAS. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 4th November 2020. The first article for discussion is In Farmers' Protests, the core is procurement. You know the farm bills are passed by the parliament and farmers were protesting against these farm bills. The central to this is minimum support prices declaration and procurement by the government. Can government move away from the procurement? Why the agitation is so strong in Haryana and Punjab? Let us analyze through this article. If you carefully observe, government also needs procurement from the farmers. National Food Security Act is a legal guarantee, and for PDS to fulfill the objectives of National Food Security Act, government has to procure from the farmers. If not, what is the choice to the government? Government needs to procure from open market. If government starts procuring from open market, the cost of procurement almost gets doubled. So, the competition for grains, more than 50% of the grains today are going into PDS. As the competition for grain in the open market increases, that is an invitation for inflation. Government may not take that particular risk. So, that's why government is bound to procure. That is the first point. And second thing is, why Haryana and Punjab are the hotbeds of this farmers movement today. More than 50% of paddy, 60% of the wheat procurement is happening from these two states. As most of the crop grown by them goes for the government procurement, they believe the loss of government procurement or MSPs is going to hit them hard. That is the reason why we see the problem in these two states now. Next is the Iran challenge. Let us understand this JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which is also called as Iran Nuclear Deal. It is signed during the Obama era, and it is intended to stop Iran from developing a nuclear bomb or uranium enrichment. Later, when Trump came to power, he has used this maximum pressure policy. For this, Iran has replied or else Iran has acted with maximum restraint, we can use that way. So, US has unilaterally moved away from Iran nuclear deal, and Iran was actually supporting this particular deal by following all the conditionalities placed on it. Today, Joe Biden is the elected president over here. As an invitation to Joe Biden, nuclear physicist of Iran was killed, and allegedly by Mossad. So, the situation is very hot, uncertain over there. Iran is applying the strategic restraint and it is not taking any retaliatory action as of now. In this context, Joe Biden's statement that it seeks or US government seeks more concessions from Iran is unwarranted. Here see carefully, US is expecting more or longer duration of stoppage of this uranium enrichment, and second, reining in of the proxies by the Iran. These two are being expected. So, obviously, that is going to irritate the Iran further. That's how we can put it as. Next, does India's neighbourhood policy need reworking? Neighbourhood policy, when Prime Minister Modi came to power, was about neighbourhood first policy. It means we need to give first priority to our neighbours. But slowly, if we observe, other than with Bhutan, with every country we have frictions. And the most important thing we observe today is China is making inroads into South Asia, and counter to China, the Western powers are also making inroads. United States of America's Secretary of State recently visited Maldives, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, all these countries. That clearly shows that South Asia is also becoming a region for proxy war between China and United States of America. In this case, allowing these USA, Japan, these countries into South Asia, is it a good idea? Definitely, India can cooperate with various other democratic powers, ideologically similar powers in the South Asia. But the point is, India has to take the lead, or India has to be on the forefront in engaging with Nepal, Bhutan, or any other country in this region. And second most important thing is SAARC. So, SAARC appears to be dead. In SAARC, all the decisions have to be made unanimously. India is exploring alternatives to SAARC. BIMSTEC is made active. Added to that, for connectivity, Bhutan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal has come into existence. See carefully, South Asia is a very complex region. It is most populated region in the world. Second, it is diverse, and it is also least integrated region. So that's why where India has to focus upon, it is on connectivity. And second, can India match to China in its resources, in providing for financial resources in our neighborhood? May not be possible. But India is a large country which is connecting all these South Asian countries. In this context, India, if it can allow for free transit to these countries, that is a great favor, and it builds a lot of goodwill for India in the neighborhood. And next is, India is accusing of too close relations of our neighbors with China. But see carefully, India was unable to say the clear red lines, what it may not accept if or which can destabilize it, the level of relations to what extent it can go. That is, those red lines are not clearly mentioned by India till now. These are the points discussed over here. Next is, government is willingly talking to farmers, and government has no ego. This is what is the agricultural minister stated. In this context, government is ready to make 8 concessions, but farmers are not relenting. Farmer wants all the farm bills to go away along with the electricity bill. And in this context, Prakash Singh Badal, he returns his Padma Vibhushan in support of the farmers. These are the points on farmers' agitations. Next, carefully monitoring Brahmaputra developments in India. You know, recently, Power China, a public sector undertaking of Chinese government, announced that it is going to build 3 times the Three Gorges Dam on Brahmaputra, and it is going to be at the Great Bend. This Great Bend is close to Arunachal Pradesh. So this dam is going to be the run of the river kind. It means that they will use this dam only for hydroelectricity production and not for storage of the water. So it means, as per the agreements, international agreements, China cannot use the water but can use it for hydroelectric power generation and can build the run of the river dams. That is what has been stated. The next is, speak for all the religions, India tells UN. So we have 3 Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and then Islam. So whenever hatred or violence is propagated against these religions, UN talks about this. Anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, anti-Christian acts are condemned by the UN. But other major religions like Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, these are not getting due attention. That is what India's point over here is. In this case, Bamiyan Buddha were being destroyed in Afghanistan along with the Sikh shrines or Gurudwaras. These also need to get due attention and condemnation from UN. That is the point raised by India. Next is, US to block import of slave labor cotton from China. The trade war between China and USA is still continuing. In these circumstances, in this trade war, the cotton is the latest victim. So Xinjiang province and violence against the Uyghur Muslims, violation of human rights is stated as a reason for USA to block the import of cotton from China. Next is, Indian vaccines after phase 3 trials. You know, phase 3 trials are on the way, and in UK emergency approvals are also been given. So India is also going to get emergency use authorization once the phase 3 trials are over for Indian vaccines. That is what is stated here. This is Dr. Rambabu signing off for Law Excellence IAS. Thank you very much.